Today, another video, why China sucks. Practically new fan. I bought this thing over the end of last summer, or this summer, and the damn thing is locked up already. Garbage. China needs to get their shit together. So, today, and of course I'm not going to go into a disassembly process. Obviously this comes off. And then you're going to need a metric Allen wrench to get the fan blade off. And once you get into it, you're looking for this part right here, the motor. It is pretty tight, locked up pretty good. When it gets locked, when it starts seizing up, then it gets hot, and then when it gets hot, it blows the fuse. There's a little thermal fuse in here. If you carefully take an X-Acto and take this apart, you can pull this little cover off this motor. Looks like that. I've already done it. And what you're looking for is this part right here. That is your thermal fuse. This thing gets hot, opens this fuse. Safety, keeps from burning your house down. I'm surprised there aren't any houses burnt down from this crap in China. I'm surprised this works, being made in China also. So you go on eBay or wherever your local supplier is, and I recommend buying 10 or 12 of them, because if you get a repair shop like I do, you're going to see these all the time. So you get a replacement. I've already taken it apart so I could spec it out and get the part number off of it, and then that's what we're looking at. So today we're going to fix this. So I'm going to replace the little thermal fuse with this one. Piece of cake. It's not real critical how you do it. I mean, are you serious? They didn't even solder it. Is it just... Okay, it is soldered. Shoo. Dumbasses. Alright, this ought to pull out. Let me get to the other one. Like so. Now this one doesn't have any insulation on it, but that's really not all that important. It's only 110 volts. I think it'll kill you. Don't touch it. Oh, obviously, when you're doing all this, make sure it's unplugged. Or it'll let you know. Alright, so I'm going to cut this sucker off. Cut that off. And I guess I should have showed you with an ohm meter that was a problem. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, a little bit of ohm meter. How to it. What I'm going to do is check continuity. And I'm going to set this meter up to the one with the little buzzer on it. Most meters have a buzzer somewhere. Let's see. I've got to strip it back where I can get to the wiring. Alright. Continuity means whenever there's a connection, it makes noise. So what I should expect is no noise. And again, no noise. So this is open, it's a blown fuse. This new one should have a noise. Ta-da! Oops, ta-da! Yep, you get it. I'm sure. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to basically put this back on there the way the old one was. And I wish they had wire, or had an insulation on the wires, but so be it. As long as you're careful. Alright. Now we take the soldering bench. And turn on the soldering iron. Again, up to about 480 degrees Fahrenheit. Where I like it. Alright. Clear. A bit of flux, maybe some solder would help. Okay, where's my flux? Who's got the flux? I don't know how you could lose something on my bench. supposed to be right there. Not it, not it, not it, not it, not it. Guess we'll do it without flux. No biggie. And I think we're up to temp. Go ahead and hit this. Doodad solder. And good. Clean your tip. Re-tin it and turn it off. It's best not to leave these set on any longer than they have to. Save your tip a little. I normally would flux this, but I can't find my flux. Maybe the dog had it. Cools. Good. So now when I plug it in, the motor should try to turn. It's not going to because it's still locked up. Alright, let's see, where are we at? Okay, we're still, yep, still good. So that's that. Now I'm going to shove this back down in this little hole that it came out of because it was kind of a nice design. Put this right next to this coil. And put the little wire noodle back on it. Totally unnecessary, but I have it, so why not? Oh, that pounding noise over there in the background is Gail cracking walnuts. It's the season. So, alright, now I got that where I want it. It's important not to make sure these do not touch each other, the two wires, but you still want it tight onto the coil. So now, just a little bit of doodad tape. Should work just fine. Hold it down. Boy, that's about worthless tape. Ta-da! Now, let's free up this motor. A little bit of penetrating oil is all it's going to need. Generally speaking, you don't really want to oil a bushing if you don't have to, but in this case it's my only choice. I have a drop of oil here. There's going to be another one behind it, but you can't get to it unless you're good. Let's see, I think I see an access point where I can hit it from here. Yeah, right there. These are cool little bottles. Sporting goods store that sells fly tying equipment. These are basically in the fly section for glue. And that baby is still pretty tight. So let's put the blade back on. The blade has a flat spot on the shaft for this. So let's see where to put this. I'm going to try to hit the flat spot. And that is tight. But let's plug it in and see if it makes a difference. Let's see, I'm going to go to 3. Man, what a piece of crap. China. Love it. That ain't going to last long. Absolutely no reason for it to be that tight. I'm gonna take a guess, and maybe pull the bearing, I guess. Never easy. doesn't. I'll take this apart. Take a look-see. Sounds good, doesn't it? Where's my screwdriver? Oh yeah, again, unplugged. It shouldn't be live, but China, who knows? Now I should have access to this shaft. Come on. You can do it. And this is a brushless motor, so I don't have to worry about reinstalling the brush on the commutator. This should just pull out in theory. If I don't want to mar it up much, if I can avoid it. There we go. So it sounds to me like that is a problem. Yeah, look at that. You see the crud on it. It's like sticky. It's like the glue that they use to clean or to seal this from rust must have gotten into the actual bearing itself. Dumb. Alright. All else fails. Alcohol wipe, clean it all up. It might survive. If I don't break it dropping it. So, let's see what we got here. I'm not watching the video while I'm doing this, so if I'm off camera, hope not. Clean this up. Yeah, looks a little better. Crud seeped into the bushing. It's not really a bearing, it's brass bushing. Oh yeah. Well, that made a difference. Now, the dilemma. If you oil it, it'll collect dust, which is an abrasive, and it'll eventually wear itself out. If you don't oil it, generally speaking, I'm not going to oil this bearing if I don't have to. So, let's clean that oil that I put in there to try to free it up. So now I got a clean brass bushing. Brass is a lubricant. It kind of will lubricate itself. So that just back together. Always exciting. Dog fight. What are they fighting over? Okay, now I got to adjust this. And I think I want to make sure it doesn't touch. It's not touching. I think we're good. So it'll move. There's a little bit of slop in this. And the main thing is you don't want the outside to touch the inside. Or the commutator or the armature don't want to touch the bearing case. So now, just plug it in and things should run all by itself. Ta-da! And we're back to normal. Yeah, crazy. The goo that they put it together with is what caused it. That feels good now. Dogs, what'd you guys do? Alright, let's see. Put this back on. Find the flat spot. Align your set screw with the flat spot. And work her down. Piece of cake. Now we should have a working fan again. Yep. It's not an expensive fan, but you'd think it is all metal. I mean, we've had these in the past. These used to be the go-to fan when we buy a fan. I buy this little one because it really worked well. It's got metal blades instead of plastic. But they screwed the pooch on this last batch. Lord. Worst part's getting this off. This thing was a bitch. I had to use a pair of pliers on these bolts or these screws to even get the things to crack loose. I think they put them together and then painted it, so it was a mess. Real mess. Right. And I have, come on, get in there. Get on there. There you go. And if need be, this is one of those times where if you need to have an extra screw, this is the place. You don't need all four, really. Just a stupid safety cover. What the hell? Who needs safety when you got a fan that's designed to lock up and burn your house down if the fuse don't work? Dumbasses. So, anyway, another little trick of the trade is don't tighten them all up at once. You want to leave them all loose until you get them started. That way you can adjust it. I ain't saying their tolerance is low on their drilling and milling. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got low tolerances. They don't care. And it is still tight. And okay. It's almost like the head's a different size too. It's not like a true Phillips. I don't have a screwdriver that really fits it well. Okay, done. Saved myself $20, something like that. Cost me a little bit of time and a little bit of knowledge, and definitely put a fuse in it if you fix one of these. Don't just tie the wires together and replace the fuse in place of the fuse. Good to go.